on one of the lots. But then it was called a PD1, Planned Unit Development. And back then they kept saying, oh, it wasn't a mobile home park. It wasn't a mobile home park. It was always a mobile home park. I've been in Northport my whole life. So what I'm asking for this council to do is to put the citizens, we want you to reconsider the zoning. I know none of you were here when that happened. What was the process to rezone Green Village? Was there a meeting, notice, a time for public comment? We would like to request all the council minutes that led to this rezoning decision by the council. And then we would like for y'all to revisit the issue, just like I said. It's a loss of income due to the restriction of no new renters. In fact, a man whose mobile home burned to the ground could not put a mobile home back on that lot. But his home burned to the ground. Now, some of us have more means than others. And I know some people look down on mobile homes, but it's a viable alternative living place for people who cannot afford housing. Now, I live out on Metlary Road in Huntington Meadows. So you know what? I'm fortunate to be able to afford a home. But this is for the poor, the disabled, the elderly, that this might be their only housing option. But then, and people say, I talked to a councilman, I said, and Bob Russ told me that they were just going to wait everybody out till they died out, got tired, because the city wanted that land. Told me that out of his own mouth. Now, and I talked to a councilman, I said, if y'all are not going to consider rezoning this, then you need to pay for the lost rent, or you need to buy these lots. And they said, oh, well, we can't use taxpayer dollars for that. Well, right here in today's paper, the Tuscaloosa City Council is looking at buying McFarland Mall from Stan Pate. Well, whose dollars are they going to use?
Tuscaloosa's.
Taxpayers' dollars.
They're using Tuscaloosa's
And
taxpayer dollars.
yes, but it's if they can do it. But let me finish this.
I'm not going to revisit this because this is going to end here in a minute,
If the city wants it, they'll go take it by eminent domain. And whose dollars will you use to purchase those lots? You will use taxpayers' dollars. I'm asking you consider my father, who worked hard all his life and invested to be able to have an income in his old age, that now he can't have that income. It's just been taken away with no input, no reasoning. And so I would like at the next council meeting these questions that I handed out to be answered and the minutes be presented from when this happened. And then we would like to go before the zoning board.
President Logan, since we've been asked a group of questions, and I don't know how it goes with requesting public information, whether that's a form or whatever, but between you and Judge Hardy, if you guys would take a look at how we would answer the questions and look at the information that's there, so we can answer these questions specifically. But I would like to point out that there is no new information with respect to what we've been hearing each time. So.
Also, too, if you would, and I want to make sure, again, if you would give Ron Davis on that, I know he's requested. Again, if nothing else, please ask Mr. Ron Davis in terms of wanting some information. There's a proper process to go through if you're requesting council minutes and things of that nature. But as far as new information given us, I know I've spoken to your dad. He's come up, several times, and he's given us his invoice. But I have to say for the record, it is illegal for us to take this invoice and the previous one. I have to say that for the record. It is not, because the city won't recognize this. It's not we can't pay this legally. And I know we were talking about the loss of revenue and things of that nature, but there is a ordinance in place from 2012. I know you mentioned one from 2000 from the late Council President Bob Rust, but that ordinance was changed in 2012.
Exactly. He's been fighting this 20 years, but why was he not allowed input, or any of those people that own those lots out there, to come and make their case? And all around that mobile home lot, you've got Deerfield Apartments, you've got Deerfield Subdivision. Over behind that trailer park, you have residential. people that live. So it makes no sense to me unless it's down the road and y'all are just, and everybody's trying to wear each other out. Now, I hope that's not what you're doing. I know most of you are fine, honorable people, but so is my father, and he bought this in good faith. And so you
12
said I
years.
need to see you, Mr. Davis. Is that coming at another time?
Well,
Let me say one thing.
Mr. Ron Davis, he's our city attorney, over there.
Over there.
Yes, ma'am. If you will get with him after the meeting, and he can walk you through this process if there's something that you want to know as far as council minutes and things of that nature, you want to pull that. But as far as bringing new information, there's nothing really new that was given to us. It's,
I worked 12 years, 12-hour shifts to pay for that property before I ever realized a dime. I paid property taxes of all these years. Plus, I paid the city of Northport a business license to rent trailer lots out there. And now I can't rent them. This ain't right. No, it's not right. This is not right. It's not going away either.
I understand.
We don't want to be ugly. We just want due process that we were not given when this last decision was made. And like I said, I know this was not your council decision, but it deserves a second look. And there's a lot of people out there that it's taken away their ability to live and buy medicines and food, and like I say, and to provide places for poor people, which we don't do a very good job of. I worked with the poor for 20 years at Easter Seals. Already would know about some of that. So I just ask that you listen to my father, and I will talk to you, and let's see what we can do about rezoning to get these people their livelihood back. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Well, sir, before you do that, come up. No, if you're going to do it, please come up, state your name for the record. If you're going to do that. It's got to be a sense of decorum.
And I'm his son.
Yes, sir.
And he's a good Christian man.
No
He's
doubt.
worked hard all of his life.
No doubt.
And I told him, I said, you're fighting an uphill battle right here because y'all are not going to do the right thing. I'm looking you dead in the eye and tell you, you're not going to do the right thing.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
But we're not going away
Yes, sir.
because we're going to be up here every time, just like we are right now,
Yes, sir, Mr.
until we
Freeman.
get something resolved.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to get something resolved one way or another.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your comment. All right, seeing no further citizens signed to speak, item 14, mayor and council members' business. I'll start with the Honorable Mayor Donna Aaron.
I don't have anything tonight. Thank you, President Logan.
Thank you. District 1, Councilman Roberts.
I don't have anything tonight.
District 2, under my business, one item, we did meet briefly regarding the MLK improvement project with Mayor Aaron and her office and the office of Congresswoman Terry Sewell and our district directors. A very productive meeting, wouldn't you say, Mayor? Very productive, and they're going to work really hard on working the federal arm of the process. So right now the drawings are about 70% complete. They're ready to go with the exception of the federal government holding up one particular aspect of it. So they're going to work on our behalf and create a workaround situation on behalf of the city to get the project going, because right now it's ready to go. And that's all I have under my business. District 3, Councilman Hinton.
None.
District 4, Councilman Davis.
I have none.
District 5, Pro Tem Hogg.
I want to say I want to thank staff for their hard work. The audit was very good to hear, and also wanted to say with the projects that are coming up, streetscape, various things, we also need to be looking at Bridge Avenue, 5th Street, those areas there, because we have the Marriott, Courtyard by Marriott, that's looking to place their hotel there, and we need to make sure that we tie in with that from the city to that area up and give them a welcome look as they come into Northport. So that's from the retail committee. I should have said that earlier. That's it.
Thank you, Councilman. Item 15, which is a new item, we'll move the adjournment back to 16. Item 15 is a request for an executive session from the city administrator's office to discuss potential retail development and or personnel issues that may or may not be litigation. Is there, I guess in this point, we'll just need to vote to go into executive session for no more than 10 minutes, Mr. McCullum. No action will be taken when we come back from our executive session again. I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting to go into executive session. The meeting should last no more than 10 minutes. We are not going to take any votes or action after the meeting. That's in the form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Davis. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. McCullum.
Councilman Roberts,
Yes.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Hinton,
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
And Councilman Hall.
Yes.
Motion carried.
No, ma'am. Staff is adjourned. Thank you, guys.